Hi, this is Roger. Thanks for dropping by. I think this is the first time I've ever done this coat up. It's cold, and I mean cold. It's probably only about 3 or 4 degrees out here, despite blue sky and sunshine. We're in for a very cold snap. As we go towards the weekend, they've even threatened some snow. Probably not here, but it's around. I'm going to have a go at clearing up some leaves because we've had a dry spell and it's going to continue for a bit, so what I don't get done today I may be able to continue. 2 separate sections to the garden as far as leaves are concerned, 3 in fact. I've got the patio area, separately the planted border, which is the important bit, and then all this lot over here. Now, as you can see, there's leaves everywhere. I've got my leaf blower and I've got my rake. Now, I'm going to leave that running, but I will probably speed up the actual work because the noise of the leaf blower, it is loud and it's not very interesting. So we'll probably add some music. But anyway, I don't want to be out here too long, so let's get going. Right, I'm well out of breath, so that'll have to do. I know my limitations. That doesn't seem like much work possibly to you, but it is for me because of that and the tablets I take. But I'll take the camera off and show you why I needed to clear those leaves. That'll be another day. Had enough for one day. We'll have a go. Right, why did we need to get the leaves out of the way then? We needed to get the leaves out of the way because we've got bulbs coming through here. There are loads of daffodils in there, they're not coming through, they're later. Little things like the geraniums can now see the light of day. Yeah. So I'm searching round. These primroses, there was a huge clump was taken out of there and split up and put in other places. These new ones will now clump up and fill that gap. We've got bulbs coming up here. Whatever that is starting to shoot out at the base. Again, little tiny new growths showing through. No light, so no photosynthesis, so yellow. We've got bulbs coming here, again yellow because they couldn't get through. Those greeny blue ones will be snowdrops. That's snowdrops there. Oh, my hands are shaking, I'm so cold. The hart's tongue ferns don't die back fully like the other ferns, so they've still got leaves on. Again, lots of primroses along the front here. More bulbs there with yellow tops because they were buried. More bulbs coming through there. What else have we got? Again, primroses that were moved along here to get some going up here. They've all taken. Bulbs showing through here. And I suspect if I look carefully, yes, the hellebores are starting to show new growths. So again, they were buried, and the bugle has all taken this section here. This will clump up this year and actually fill this corner, and buried down in amongst the leaves of the cyclamen that were completely under the leaves. We've actually got some flower buds. Those would have never come to anything buried under those leaves, but now they can see the light of day. So that was the logic of cleaning out the leaves. All these bulbs with yellow tips will now green up and push on. So we've got daffodils, bluebells and snowdrops showing so far. The primroses are pushing on. Cyclamen should bloom now, and we've got some new growth showing on the hellebores. That'll be good. And yeah, there's still lots of leaves in here, but not enough to do any damage like they were before. Right, now I've got to do something with that lot. I'll have to do that today because the wind blows down this alleyway from the other end to this end, and it'll blow all those leaves back out. So somehow or other I've got to try and get all those leaves right up to the far end in that huge pile. The end there has got a brick wall on one side and concrete plinths at the back and the left hand side, so I can pile the leaves up there without doing any damage to anything. And then gradually, I mean, that pile there was 3 foot high last year, it's now down to less than a foot, so it rots down. And Mojo uses it as one of his facilities. Anyway, I didn't do all the bits around here because Hannah and I will have a final tidy up where we'll get rid of all the green in the cracks and have a final sweep up, which will be at that level, sweeping, you know, actually getting everything up. But I'm glad we've freed up the bulbs, and hopefully young stuff will now start to shoot now that it can see the light of day. So I'm pleased with that. And then over here we've got the same sort of thing to do. I'm not doing it now, but again, leaf blower, push all the leaves back up under the bamboo. That's where they all go, and they just pile up under there and rot down. Help feed the bamboo, which I could probably do without. But anyway, we've got forget-me-nots have self-seeded. Hannah took all the seed heads off and pulled the old plants out and put the seeds back in. They've germinated, so we've got an absolute mass of forget-me-nots. That'll be a mass of blue. We have got weeds, dandelion, things. Yeah, so we've got some things to get rid of. There's bulbs coming up in there. Be snowdrops, I expect. And the red valerian shooting out from the base, so the tops can all be cut off, tidy it up. So get these leaves off of the ground cover plants and they'll all shoot out nicely. And then we've got that to sort out at some point. Big job that. The corner of the shed completely rotted. That's not really up to me to repair that. But I'd like it to look nice at least. So the green paint that I bought was rubbish. That's probably why it was only 15 quid for 5 litres. It's just like water. It doesn't put colour on. It's no good. Whereas the black stuff that I use for the bonsai staging and that sort of stuff, that was quite expensive. I think that was about 35-40 quid for 5 litres. Well, I need to spend that on the green to get this fence and the shed looking nice and staying looking nice for a reasonable period of time. But as I said, the decking is a big job. Saw my son Boxing Day. We had a chat about it, and I said that I'm going to take up boards as best I can because what they're fixed to is so rotten they just pull out. So I can take a lot of the boards off, get them out of the way, and that exposes what's gone wrong underneath, which I will then take some pictures of, send them to my son so that he can have a think. But yeah, quite a big job. Right, so that looks a bit better. and at least the plants can show through now and start pushing on. We're in for a cold snap now for probably at least a week, maybe 2, so everything will just stop growing now, but at least it can see the light of day, so the things that were turning yellow and not doing very well should at least perk up. Right, now I'm going to try and get as much of that pile of leaves down the other end as I can, and I'll leave it at that. I will probably post this on both channels. There's nothing going on the gardening and bonsai channel. It's been dead for quite a while, so putting something on there will at least tell YouTube it's still active. And the other one I'll put on my on the orchid channel, because people who are interested in orchids are normally interested in gardens as well. So and this is it's not quite 2026 yet, but it's not far off, so we could count this as the first gardening video of the year, which is just a bit of a tidy up. Right, I will leave it at that, and I will see you next time. And a bit on the end, the first primrose is out. First signs of spring in the middle of winter, but signs of more to come.